So the Democratic Socialist Party stirring the pot. A lot of people unhappy. A lot of people unhappy, and I want to stir the pot because I like where this is going. So if you like what Mondani's doing, listen up. In New York, I need your help. So this is a message for everyone based on a fucking project that I've been trying to launch for the longest. And one of the questions I keep getting is, who are we going to trust with this? Who's going to control it? Who's going to run it? So on and so forth. So let me say this respectfully, man. If I could trust anyone, and if anyone's going to put a team together that's going to truly make this happen, it would be Mondani. Hell, AOC, Bernie Sanders. So recently Mondani said, I don't want to raise. I just said that about 3 weeks ago in another video because I am kind of anti-raising the federal minimum wage. I'll explain why. Bernie Sanders said, let's tax the rich. We can generate $4.4 trillion by doing so. How long is any of that going to take? So I've been saying all along is that, shit, I think we can generate $3 to $6 trillion for ourselves and spread the wealth amongst ourselves. Hear me out. Where do I get these numbers from? Well, one, raising the federal minimum wage. Let me go back to that. Raising the federal minimum wage is just going to put you in a higher tax bracket. That only means you're going to be feeding the war machine all over again. Raising the federal minimum wage and getting into a higher tax bracket is the same shit that's been going on for decades, and this is why we're in the situation we are in today, at an extreme level because of this administration. But it's nothing new. Don't be fooled. It's nothing new. It's the same playbook. It's on an extreme level. On top of trickle-down economics, what we've been dealing with all these decades, now we have Project 2025. Here we are arguing for a higher federal minimum wage. The math ain't mathing, people. We're doing ourselves an injustice, and we're doing our children an injustice, because where we're at today is the same system our parents handed down to us, and we're getting ready to hand it down to our children. I'm kind of on repeat mode because I've been doing this for so long, and this is the reason why I'm going about this video in this way, is because I want to get this shit off my hands already and put it in the hands of the people that are going to make this shit happen. So I did a video and I used as an example 150 million people, just to go to show you our spending power, right? Because I've been saying this all along. Our spending power is our superpower, and we're just not seeing it for what it is. We spent $19 trillion as consumers in 2024. In 2025, we spent $21 trillion. It went up by 2. I'm going to get to that $2 trillion here in a minute. Then in 2026, we are projected to spend $22 trillion as consumers. That's roughly $60 trillion. That's more than the national deficit. So why the hell is the national deficit causing so many headaches for us? Why do we have so much poverty? Why do we have homeless veterans on our streets? A lot of questions here, man, you know. I hope that I sparked some curiosity in you. It seems that we have lost that. So that $2 trillion between 2024 and 2025, our expenditure went up $2 trillion fucking dollars. It just so happens that 42 million African Americans in the United States, that's the population, 42 million African Americans in the United States spend $2 trillion on average every fucking year. Had they had their own country, they would have the 13th richest economy in the United States. That's fucking phenomenal. So I got to thinking, why when I say this shit, it just seems to go over people's fucking heads, you know what I mean? And I just get this little twitch of, just saying, people are just really that fucking stupid in this country. But I don't like saying that. I truly don't, because I really like to be positive. I'm trying to build something here. I'm trying to get y'all guys to open your eyes and see something. So that $2 trillion that is spent yearly by the African American community, how does that fit in with the example I gave earlier of the 150 million people? It dawned to me. It's like, damn, if 42 million people on average can average a spendage of $2 trillion, how many times does 42 million fit into 150 million? And I came up with a fucking number. 3.5. 3.5 fucking times. So 42 million comes out to 3.5. So 3.5 times 2 trillion is 7 trillion fucking dollars. Do you understand what I'm getting at with this now? So that 4.4 trillion that Bernie is saying we can get from taxing the rich, as I said, I've been saying it for 2 years. I think we can do 3 to 6 trillion for ourselves if we consider our spending and redistribute the funds. I'm proving the point. That same $7 trillion, if you split that evenly amongst 150 million people, that is $46,666,000 for each person. If you split that $7 trillion amongst the population, which is roughly 350 million people, that is $20K for each person. Guess what? I've been saying for the last 2 years, we can generate 10 to 20 grand for ourselves tax-free. That's another thing. I'm going to get into that in a minute. I'll explain myself. 10 to 20. I've been just going on a whim here because I'm really not a fucking math guy if you haven't picked up on it yet. So yeah, 10 to 20 grand each tax-free. And people say, how the hell are you going to make it tax-free? Come on, man. The collective, baby. We got to put our heads together on this shit. Loans and donations. That would be the exchange of currency. You cannot tax loans and donations. The fucking filthy billionaires and these corporations don't pay taxes, and neither do the churches, and none of them do shit for us. And out of all three categories, when we include ourselves in this, we're the only ones that are fucking working. And yet we are the only ones without a fucking tax-free incentive in this country. But no, let's fight for a higher federal fucking minimum wage just to get into a higher tax bracket. I want to succeed individually and get a raise and leave others behind. There's no equality in that. It's the same fucking sick, vicious cycle, the fucking repetitive hamster wheel, man. We need to break out of that mindset of this individualism. We're in this shit together. We don't want to see it succeed together, but here we are suffering like some suckers all together, right? So again, we create the system that would allow us to spread the wealth amongst ourselves, and we do this shit tax-free. We end poverty and homelessness instantly. Within a year, man, not even, I'm giving it too much, but within a year, we're not going to recognize this country. So now they're gutting. They just approved another 1.7 trillion. If this goes through the Senate, they're just going to make more fucking cuts. They're going to make shit even worse for us. The war's still going. That's going to make shit even worse for us. People are going fucking homeless. We need to keep people fed and roofs over their heads. Now, once we go through this project, that means you have monies to freely invest in other areas like the IRAs, mutual funds, and trust funds. That's how you build up your generational wealth. And guess what? Since they're gutting Social Security and the IRA and the motherfucker 401k basically is non-existent, I just fucking showed you how to get your own individual fucking retirement. You are in charge of it. You put into it as much as you fucking want. And in the process of it all, you have an investment in your children's future. You don't have to worry about paying your fucking bills, or you're going to put food on the fucking table. What other language do I have to say this shit in? So yeah, we create the system that will allow us to spread the wealth amongst ourselves, and we do this shit tax-free. Please share the content.